Warriors, Crookedstars Promis by Erin Chapter 3. Stormkit stretched in his nest, feeling the muscles slide underneath his glossy fur. He could almost reach from one wall to the other in this corner of the nursery. Early morning sunshine filtered through the roof, making the reed walls glow. And the 3 moons since ThunderClan had stolen Sunning Rocks, the sun had grown hotter and higher in the sky. New growths speared up through the old reed bed, and the sedge bushes smelled sweet and lush. "Wake up," Stormkit whispered in Oakkit's ear. Rainflower stirred sleepily and wrapped her tail over Stormkit's belly. "Go back to sleep, little warrior," she purred. "It's still early." Stormkit shook off her warm, soft tail and sat up. He poked Oakkit with a paw. "What is it?" Oakkit grumbled, his eyes tightly shut. "Let's go explore." "Remember to stay in camp," Rainflower murmured sleepily. "Of course," Stormkit promised. He poked Oakkit again. Oakkit hid his nose under his palm. "Don't you ever sleep?" "We've been asleep all night. The Dawn Patrol left ages ago." In Echo Mist's nest, Beetlekit struggled to his paws, his black pelt rumpled. "Is it time to eat?" Woolkit opened his eyes. "Yeah, I'm hungry." Puddlekit was already sitting up and washing. "The hunting patrol will bring something back for us." She leaned forward to lick Beetlekit's head, smoothing the fur tuft between his ears. Echo Mist rolled over and began to snore gently. Stormkit hopped out of his nest and stretched. "We're gonna catch our own prey." Oakkit sat up. "Are we?" Rainflower lifted her head. "Going to get your brother in trouble again, Stormkit." "Why are you blaming me?" Yesterday they'd made it as far as the stepping stones before being spotted and escorted back to camp by a very cross Mudfur. "It's not my fault Oakkit followed the patrol." "He wasn't following the patrol," Rainflower reminded him. "He was following you." "He was?" As Stormkit blinked at her innocently, she flicked his ear with her tail tip. "I suppose I'm lucky to have such a brave, handsome kit." She rested her chin on her paws. "I'm brave too." Oakkit leaped out of the nest and headed for the entrance. "Wait for me!" Stormkit caught up and slid past him out of the nursery. The clearing was already warm and bright. Though the sun was barely higher than the ancient willow, Hellstar and Shellheart sat beside the fallen tree, their heads dipped in quiet conversation. Troutclaw, Birdsong, and Tanglewhisker were sunning themselves on the smooth earth outside the Elder's Den. Timberfur and Ottersplash were poking among the reeds at the edge of the river, their ears pricked, tails twitching, clearly hoping to find a minnow among the watery stems. Brambleberry was laying out limp leaves in the sun, her snowy paws tingled with green sap. "What are those for?" Stormkit crossed the clearing and sniffed the leaves. He screwed up his face. They smelled sour. "They're colt's foot leaves," Brambleberry told him. "Good for coughs." Stormkit nudged the leaf with his front paw. "How?" "You have to chew them to get the juice out." Brambleberry smoothed another leaf out on the warm earth. "Then you swallow the juice and spit out the leaf." Oakkit skidded to a halt beside them. "Where'd they come from?" "I picked them beside the falls," Brambleberry meowed. "Can we come with you to pick more?" Stormkit asked hopefully. Brambleberry's whiskers twitched. "Perhaps in 2 moons' time, when you're paws." "I'm sure Hellstar will let us go now if he knows we're with you," Stormkit pleaded. Brambleberry glanced at the River Clan leader. "Why don't you go and ask him?" Stormkit scowled. "Maybe later." He'd asked Hellstar if they could leave the camp before, once if they could help Shellheart hunt, twice if they could shadow Rippleclaw's patrol, but the answer had always been the same. "Wait until you're apprentices." Stormkit stared enviously at the apprentices' den, tasting the air. There was no warm scent of sleep drifting from it. Softpaw and Whitepaw must have left with the Dawn Patrol. "Lucky furballs," he muttered. Oakkit shrugged. "I thought we were going hunting." "We are." "Where?" Oakkit scanned the camp. "In the sedges?" Stormkit fluffed out his fur. "I want to catch more than butterflies." "We could try hunting for minnows with Ottersplash and Timberfur," Oakkit suggested. Stormkit rolled his eyes. "Minnows? What's wrong with minnows?" "Do you want to stay in camp?" "We have to." "Oh, come on." Stormkit butted his brother with his head. Let's sneak out and hunt like real warriors. What if we get caught again? Kit lowered his voice. Hailstar said he'd make us wait an extra moon to get our apprentice names if we got into any more trouble. He didn't mean it, Stormkit scoffed. RiverClan needs warriors. Hailstar is not a frog brain. The sooner we're out patrolling and fighting, the better it'll be for the clan. He flicked his tail. When I'm leader, I'll let kids go out of camp whenever they want. Stormstar. What a great name. Hey, Kit jabbed him with the paw. Rainflower says I was born first, so I get to be leader. You? Leader? Stormkit ruffled his brother's ear. You wanted to hunt minnows, he scoffed and added kindly. I'll make you deputy when I'm leader. Thanks a lot. Come on, let's go hunt. Before Kit could answer, mewling filled the clearing. Volkit and Beetlekit were tumbling noisily out of the nursery. Wait for me, Petalkit scrambled after them, pawing at their tails as they scooted across the clearing and skittered to a halt by the reed bed. Beetlekit thrust his nose into the stalks beside Ottersplash, making the reeds tremble. Have you seen any fish? Don't scare them off, Ottersplash grumbled, not taking his eyes from the patch of water beneath his nose. Stormkit nudged Oatkit. Come on, before Beetlekit starts asking us questions. Which way? Oatkit asked. We can't just walk through the entrance tunnel. Dirt place. Then we can squeeze through the sedges out onto the marsh. Stormkit headed toward Dirt Place. He ducked through the fronds, Oatkit on his trail. Through the gap lay a sandy clearing, clumped in places and stinking. Oatkit poked his paw through a clump of sedge. Through here? Let me see. Stormkit pushed past and nosed his way through the stems. They were sharp and grazed his nose, but he pushed on, his eyes half closed, until he broke out into sunshine. A wide marshy plain stretched ahead of him, grassy and lush, filled with patches of reed and sedge and white, billowing flowers. It's huge! Oatkit slid out behind Stormkit and stared at the green wetland. It stretched far along the riverbank and sloped up toward a smooth meadow where horses grazed. Let's head for the river, Oatkit suggested. Stormkit tilted his head on one side. Don't you want to cross the marsh? I thought we were going to find prey, Oatkit reminded him. What lives in the marsh? Frogs? Stormkit guessed. If you want to spend your morning hopping after a frog, then go ahead, Stormstar. Oatkit patted away. I'm heading for the river. Okay. Stormkit's paws sank into watery moss, cool and springy beneath his pads. He bounced along behind Oatkit, following the sedge wall. Wait! Oatkit halted. Stormkit stumbled into him. What? We're near the camp entrance, Oatkit whispered. Stormkit recognized the well-trod grass track that led out from the sedges and weaved between the thick bushes and grasses that swathed the riverbank. Follow me. Stormkit slid ahead and pushed his way into the rich greenery at the side of the path. Nosing his way through the soft leaves, he kept to the bushes, where water puddled the path. He crossed deliberately through it, hoping the mud would disguise their scent. Then, glancing over his shoulder to make sure Oatkit was following, he plunged into the long grass on the other side of the path. The ground fell away from beneath his paws, and he tumbled down the bank. He landed with a thump on a muddy flat at the river's edge. Water lapped his pelt as he scrambled to his paws. He moved just in time. With a yelp, Oatkit tumbled after him. Jumping up, ruffled, Oatkit shook out his fur. Nice route, he muttered. It's not my fault. I don't know the whole territory yet. Stormkit defended himself. Hailstar won't let us explore, remember? He gazed downriver, watching the water flow away in a lazy brown flood that moved with such ease it was hard to imagine the same river had once destroyed the camp. Look, the stepping stones. Stormkit spotted smooth boulders breaking the surface farther downstream. We can get to Sunning Rocks. Oatkit blinked. Why would we go to Sunning Rocks? It belongs to ThunderClan. No, it doesn't, Stormkit answered hotly. They're invaders. He glanced at the far bank. A stretch of sandy shore lay in the shade of Sunning Rocks. Stormkit stiffened. A cat was moving along the water's edge, tugging at weeds that clung to the rocks and streams in the current. Look, he hissed to OK. It must be a ThunderClan warrior, OK gasped. A warrior? No way. Stormkit stiffened. Look at him. He looks older than Sunny Rocks. The ThunderClan cat was unkempt, his thick gray coat clumped with burrs and twigs. His ears were ragged, and his whiskers frazzled like chewed grass. What's he doing? OK whispered. The Tom was nosing intently through the weeds along the shore, sniffing each one, tasting the air, and then hesitating a moment before tugging out a leaf or two with his shaggy paws. Stormkit bristled. He's stealing our herbs. They're not exactly ours. Hellstar gave Sunnywalks to ThunderClan. No, he didn't. He just didn't fight them. Besides, Stormkit glanced at the huge gray boulders that loomed over the river. That old cat is on the shore, not the rocks, and that's definitely ours. Should we go and tell Shellheart? Mewed Oakkit. Stormkit stared at his brother. Are you frog-brained? He's on our land. If we tell Shellheart, he'll know we were outside camp. Oakkit frowned. So what should we do? Let's chase him off. Chase him off? Oakkit's eyes widened. He's bigger than both of us put together. But look at the state of him, Stormkit pointed out. He can't even wash himself. He's obviously not a real warrior. He might not even be ThunderClan. He might be a loner. I think we should tell Shellheart. Oakkit dug his claws into the mud. But Stormkit was already padding along the shore. Let's deal with this ourselves. Oakkit scurried after him. We can't take on a full-grown Tom. Why not? There are two of us, but we... Shh! Stormkit crouched and began stalking along the riverbank, where the mange ball will hear us. The ragged Tom was still sniffing his way from plant to plant. Stormkit paused and pressed his belly to the mud, feeling water soak his fur. The stepping stones began about a tail length from the bank. A narrow stretch of water stood between him and the first rock. The river wasn't flowing particularly fast, but it looked deep and cold around the base of the stone. Stormkit tensed, then leaped, clearing the channel and landing with a soft skid on the first stepping stone. It felt smooth beneath his paws, worn by countless moons of lapping water. Oakkit joined him with a muffled oof. There was only just enough room for both of them. I still think we... Stormkit flicked his tail over Oakkit's mouth. Shh! The river gurgled between the stepping stones, making tiny whirlpools at the edges of the rock. Stormkit took a breath and launched himself toward the next stone. He landed with his paws splayed out. Feeling dizzy, the river streamed around the rock so smoothly. It seemed for a moment as though the rock were moving. Stormkit steadied his gaze, fixing it on the ragged Tom who was still skulking in the shade of Sunny Rocks, then jumped on the next rock, and the next, keeping low and praying that the swirling river would camouflage their approach. He felt Oakkit's pelt brush his as his littermate kept pace. One more stone and they'd be on the shore. Oakkit breathed in his ear. He's gonna see us for sure. Not if we land over there. Stormkit nodded toward a clump of mallow clinging at the river's edge. We'll hide behind that. He sprang, pushing off hard, and swished through the mallow clump. Wet sand spattered around his paws as Oakkit landed clumsily beside him. Stormkit froze and glanced at the Tom. Had he spotted them? The Tom was tugging at weeds, his pelt smooth, his gaze intent on his leaves. Then he looked up, his gold-blue gaze bored into Stormkit's. Did you think I wouldn't notice you? A growl edged his mew. Oakkit's fur bushed up. Let's get out of here. Not yet. Stormkit showed his teeth. You're on RiverClan territory, he hissed at the Tom. Get off our land. Oakkit unsheathed his claws. Go and steal someone else's herbs. The Tom's gaze narrowed. How dare you? His ears flattened. Stormkit felt sick. He's gonna kill us, Oakkit croaked. Run! Stormkit turned and scrambled through the mallow. He skidded to a halt on the first stone, then leaped again. Oakkit landed beside him. Help! He wailed as his hind paws slipped off the stones. Stormkit grabbed his brother's scruff before Oakkit could slide into the swirling river. Thanks. Oakkit regained his balance and jumped for the next stone. The Tom yelled behind them. Stormkit hurled after his brother. You don't get away from Goose Feather that easily. The old cat snarled. Stormkit felt hot breath on his heels and jagged claws spiked his tail. Unbalanced, he leaped for the final stone. His paws hit water as he plunged into the river. StarClan, help me. Pain shot through his face as he collided with the base of the rock. Cold water engulfed him, and the world turned black. Turning his paws, Stormkit flailed to for the surface, but he had no idea which way up was. Gravel grazed his belly, then his spine, as the river tumbled him downstream like a leaf. Water stung his eyes as he opened them, searching for sunlight. Shadowy shapes raced past him. He struggled against the current, trying to swim, but another submerged rock slammed against his side, knocking the last of his breath from him. His chest heaved as he fought not to suck in it water. Then he saw a shape moving steadily toward him, a she-cat, orange and white. He could just make her out in the gloom. Had StarClan come to claim him? Terror clawed Stormkid's belly, and he fought harder, praying for air, for the surface, for something to grab on so that would stop him being washed into StarClan's hunting grounds. He couldn't die yet. The orange and white cat swam closer. "Go away, I don't want to come with you," the words screamed in Stormkid's mind. "Don't worry, little one," he heard the cat's words, as though she were whispering in his ears, even though she was still telling the way. "It's not your time yet. You have a great destiny ahead of you." Her amber eyes shone in the green water, and then she was gone. Teeth gripped Stormkid's scruff. With a jerk, he was above the rushing water, dangling from the jaws of Mudfur. The brown warrior turned against the current and swam for shore. Stormkid gulped air, coughing and trembling, suddenly aware of the agonizing pain in his cheek. Mudfur scrambled from the river and bounded up the bank. "Is he okay?" Okit yowled. Stormkid could hear his brother, but he couldn't open his eyes because his whole face felt as if it were on fire. He felt liquid bubbling at his lips and tasted blood. He started to shake. "What's wrong with me?" Mudfur didn't speak or put him down, just headed along the path toward camp, with Stormkid swinging limply beneath his chin. "What's wrong with him?" The sound of fur in Okit's voice frightened Stormkid more. Each jolt as Mudfur's paws hit the ground shot through his face like lightning. Stormkid tried to open his eyes. Grass, sedge, and willow herb streamed past in a blur. He could hear his own breathing. He was terribly cold, and his paws felt numb. "It's not your time yet. It's not your time yet." He clung to the orange and white cat's words, repeating them as though praying to StarClan. He smelled the warm scent of brambleberry as Mudfur ducked through the sedge tunnel into camp. "Where did you find him?" Rainflower's shrill mew cut through the anxious murmur that greeted them. "Okit! Okit! I'm here! What happened?" Stormkid fell and hit at a stepping stone. Brambleberry's mew sounded calm among the others. "Take him to my den, Mudfur." Past the haze of pelts and worried eyes, past the deep olive sedge and into the green calm of Brambleberry's den. It was a wide space, almost a clearing, thickly walled by sedge with a nest hollowed out at one side where Brambleberry slept. Stormkid smelled his mother close by, her scent edged with fear. Rainflower moved around him, pushing past Brambleberry, nudging Mudfur as the brown Tom laid Stormkid gently down. "What has he done to himself?" "Let me see." Brambleberry nosed the queen away. Stormkid tried to focus on the white medicine cat, but the black spots that dotted her fur swam before his eyes. "His face! His head's face!" Rainflower's wail sent a new wave of terror through him. Mudfur's pelt brushed Stormkid's flank as he huddled face down on the smooth earth floor. "Come on, Rainflower, you need to check on Okit. He's pretty shaken up." As the warrior steered Rainflower from the den, Brambleberry leaned closer to Stormkid. "Don't worry, little one. I'll take care of you." Stormkid lay numb and trembling as Brambleberry disappeared for a moment. When she returned, she was carrying something that had a strong sour tang. "I'm gonna squeeze juice into the side of your mouth," she told him. "It'll taste bad and it'll hurt to swallow, but you must take it." Her mew was firm. "It'll help you feel better." Stormkid tried to speak, but his mouth felt thick and strange, and another jolt of pain made him cry out. This has willow bark, thyme, and poppy extract in it," Brambleberry went on, her voice low and soft. Stormkid felt wetness at the side of his mouth, and then a stream of liquid trickled in. He forced himself to swallow in spite of the agony. "Good kid." Brambleberry stroked his flank with her tail. "Have a long sleep, and when you wake up, you'll feel a lot better than you do now." As she talked, the medicine cat pulled moss around him until he felt warm and cozy. Her words drifted into a low murmur until the green clearing and the sharp scents of herbs faded into darkness.